One laugh silenced the heavens, and one insult ignited a war of heavenly flames. When Xiao faced the Hun clan's nihility-devouring flame, even legendary alchemists held their breath. 4 masters, 4 heavenly flames, and a single moment that would decide who truly stands at the peak of alchemy. If you enjoy the way I make my videos, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. Many people quietly began to perspire when they heard Xiao clear laughter. His words were truly cutting. It was obvious that the Sky Mansion alliance and the Hun clan bore deep resentment toward one another. What a razor-sharp tongue! If you wish to challenge me, even your teacher Yao Chen lacks the qualifications. Hun Huzi laughed softly. There was not the slightest trace of anger on his face, as though he possessed extraordinary composure. Yet the gaze he fixed upon Xiao was icy cold, a faint murderous intent surging within it. "Tuh! Teacher said I should be more than enough to deal with you. There's no need for him to intervene." Xiao casually rubbed his chin, a dazzling smile playing on his lips. However, his words showed Hun Huzi not the slightest respect. "In that case, I'm rather curious." Hun Huzi chuckled. He said no more. With a flick of his sleeve, black flames burst forth from his body in all directions, rapidly condensing into a colossal black fire cauldron thousands of feet in size, suspended in the sky before him. A strange devouring force faintly emanated from within. Nihility-devouring flame. Xiao, Elder Wanhuo, and Old Man Shen-Nung all narrowed their eyes at once, exclaiming in low voices as they stared at the cauldron formed from black flames. To think such a heavenly flame would actually fall into the hands of the Hun clan. Old Man Shen-Nung frowned deeply, his expression grave. As a senior figure in the alchemist world, he was keenly aware of the terrifying might of the nihility-devouring flame. "Summon the heavenly flames within your bodies," Hun Huzi said with a smile as he looked at the 3 of them. "My nihility-devouring flame has been craving their taste. So it's merely a seed flame, yet you dare act so domineering." Xiao chuckled softly. The nihility-devouring flame Hun Huzi wielded was indeed far stronger than the one possessed by the Hall of Souls chief, yet it still fell short of the true, terrifying devouring flame. Clearly this too was only a seed flame. Hun Huzi's eyes narrowed slightly. He hadn't expected Xiao to identify the flame so quickly. However, he soon laughed again. Xiao could recognize it as a seed flame, but he had no idea that this was no ordinary one. The nihility-devouring flame was incomparably mysterious. Few knew that its seed flames were divided into different tiers. Among them existed 2 rare variants, the Heaven Seed Flame and the Earth Seed Flame. The one in Hun Huzi's possession was the Earth Seed Flame. From a certain perspective, the Earth Seed Flame could be considered the infant form of the nihility-devouring flame itself. Its might far surpassed that of the ordinary seed flame wielded by the Hall of Souls chief. Though powerful, such a seed flame carried a fatal flaw. If the main flame were damaged, all connected seed flames would dissipate and revert to pure essence, returning to the source. This was a closely guarded secret. Even Yao Lao and Xiao were unaware of it. Thus, they merely recognized Hun Huzi's flame as a seed flame, unable to discern that it was the strongest among them. Even if Xiao had known, however, his expression would not have changed. After mutating through the fusion of numerous heavenly flames, the purifying demonic lotus flame within him feared nothing. Even the true nihility-devouring flame descending in person might not intimidate him. "Whether you can devour our heavenly flames will depend on your ability," Elder Wanhuo snorted coldly. He waved his sleeve, and a faint black wind suddenly howled forth. Upon closer inspection, it was not wind at all, but flame, mysterious and fierce. The 9 serene wind flame. Xiao eyes flickered with surprise. He had seen this heavenly flame before, back when Yao Xingji possessed it. It seemed that the flame had since returned to Elder Wanhuo. "Ha, Wanhuo, your control over the 9 serene wind flame grows more refined by the day." Old Man Shen-Nong laughed heartily. He tapped his medicinal staff lightly in the air. "In that case, this old man won't hold back either." As his words fell, the medicinal staff ignited without any visible flame. A liquid-like green fire slowly rose, swelling with the wind. Layer upon layer of mist unfurled, and within it countless medicinal plants sprouted and grew, overflowing with vibrant life force. This is the 5th-ranked heavenly flame, the Life Spirit Flame. Shock flashed across Xiao Yan's eyes as he felt that rich vitality wash over him. Unlike other heavenly flames which brimmed with destructive power, the life spirit flame was suffused with life. It was said that any medicinal seeds within it would instantly germinate and mature. With enough seeds, one would never lack medicinal ingredients. Moreover, it granted its owner extraordinary longevity, rivaling even long-lived magical beasts, though at the cost of combat prowess. This was Xiao Yan's first time seeing it in person. The gentle life force it emitted left one feeling refreshed and invigorated. Hun Huzi stared intently at the life spirit flame greed flickering through his eyes. In a world bound by mortality, such a flame was irresistibly tempting even to him. To think you possess the life spirit flame. Old man Shen Nong, your fortune is truly enviable, Elder Wanhuo said with a smile. When it forms, the life spirit flame possesses high intelligence, Shen Nong replied calmly. It often disguises itself as medicinal herbs quietly taking root in the soil. Even if one walks past it, it may go unnoticed. Only those blessed by fate can discover it. I merely stumbled upon it while gathering herbs. Shen Nong chuckled, stroking his beard. I heard that young friend Xiao Yan has subdued the purifying demonic lotus flame. Is that true? Shen Nong's gaze shifted toward Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan smiled faintly. I was merely fortunate, just like Senior. A glow of flame rose from his shoulder. Little Yi appeared instantly, casting a disdainful glance at the other heavenly flames. Only a heavenly flame spirit could manifest in such a form. A heavenly flame spirit. The expressions of the others shifted. They could sense intelligence rivaling that of humans, something only a legendary heavenly flame constitution could achieve. Even alchemists whose spiritual strength had reached the perfect heavenly state fell short of this level. My Hun clan has pursued the purifying demonic lotus flame for many years, Hun Huzi said coldly. That it fell into your hands matters little. Sooner or later it will be reclaimed. This old man once attempted to subdue it. Shen Nong sighed with a laugh. I nearly lost my life in the demonic flame realm. Xiao Yan smiled knowingly. Without the remnant soul of the purifying demonic lotus saint, he too would have had no choice but to flee. If you are all prepared, Yao Dan announced clearly from the leader's seat. Open your cauldrons and begin refining your pills. Xiao Yan laughed softly. Little Yi opened its mouth, and a thumb-sized pink fire cauldron flew out, rapidly expanding into a colossal cauldron that hovered in the sky. Fire dragons coiled around it, their deep roars echoing as the temperature of the entire arena skyrocketed. As Xiao Yan's fire cauldron expanded, the other three individuals retreated some distance away, dividing the vast sky into 4 separate domains. Hun Huzi's figure flashed as he appeared above the black fire cauldron before slowly seating himself. With a wave of his sleeve, countless medicinal ingredients shot out in all directions. In an instant, a dense medicinal fragrance permeated the heavens. Not far away, Elder Wanhuo had already formed a cauldron using the 9 serene wind flame. At their level, physical medicinal cauldrons were unnecessary. Any heavenly flame could be molded into a top-grade cauldron at will. The greatest spectacle, however, came from old man Shen Nong. The liquid-like green sea of flame spread rapidly before him as he sat calmly within it, with a flick of his sleeve, numerous medicinal seeds carrying an unusual fragrance scattered into the sea of fire. Before countless stunned gazes, the seeds sprouted instantly, growing wildly within the blazing flames. Old man Shen Nong smiled faintly as he watched the herbs flourish. He flicked his finger, causing ripples to form within the sea of flames. These ripples condensed into droplets of pure green liquid, within which faint fire seedlings could be seen swirling. A rich vitality seeped out. The droplets hovered above the herbs before slowly dripping down. Once the liquid touched them, the medicinal ingredients seemed to consume a powerful catalyst. Their growth rate skyrocketed. In less than 10 minutes, the seeds transformed into rare medicinal herbs, continuing to grow as they danced joyfully within the green sea of fire. It truly lives up to its name, the life spirit flame. Xiao Yan couldn't help but murmur in admiration. Aside from its weak combat power, this heavenly flame was truly the dream of all alchemists. In the hands of the Pill Tower or the Yao clan, it would be nothing short of divine. Though stimulating growth consumed great energy, many of these herbs normally required centuries to mature. Such exhaustion was insignificant by comparison. Withdrawing his gaze, Xiao Yan turned toward his massive pink cauldron. With a casual wave of his hand, an overwhelming number of medicinal ingredients flew out from his storage ring, surrounding the cauldron. The sheer quantity left many alchemists speechless. Compared to this, even the earlier pill refinement that had summoned 9-colored pill lightning seemed trivial. Go. Xiao Yan's shoulder trembled as little Yi shot forward, entering the fire cauldron. A crack opened along its surface as a powerful suction force erupted, swallowing thousands of medicinal ingredients at once. Moments later, raging flames surged within. He's refining all of them together. Even the Yao clan elders' expressions twitched. Thousands of medicinal ingredients, each with different properties, were being thrown in at once. Was such a thing even possible? Yao Lao merely smiled from the VIP seating. His confidence in Xiao Yan was absolute. Long ago, his disciple's alchemy had already surpassed his own. Just how did this fellow train himself? He's around our age, yet he can compete with Elder Wanhuo. Below the stage, the younger generation of the Yao clan gathered together, their pride severely shaken. Even Yao Tian, who had previously drawn 9-colored pill lightning, wore a dark expression. No matter how unwilling he was to accept it, the gap between himself and Xiao Yan was undeniable. Nearby, Yao Ling, once the most pampered genius of the Yao clan, watched the calm figure in the sky with shining eyes. It was the first time she had ever seen someone her age refine pills alongside legendary elders. Even she could not suppress the admiration in her heart. Yao Xingji, he didn't seem this powerful when we met him in the Gu clan back then. Did he? Yao Ling asked softly. Yao Xingji gave a bitter smile. Back then he was merely an ordinary Do Zun. His spiritual strength was strong, but not to this terrifying extent. To think he has reached such a level in only a few short years. Yao Ling's gaze lingered on Xiao Yan. Her soul had been extraordinary since birth. The clan head once said she might even reach the legendary Dai state. She had always taken pride in her spiritual strength, yet Xiao Yan was the only peer who had surpassed her. The fire cauldron finished swallowing the last ingredient as Xiao Yan sat down. With a heavenly flame spirit aiding him, pill refinement was effortless. Under little Yi's flawless control, refining medicinal ingredients became a simple, almost mundane task. A fierce pink flame wrapped the cauldron like a blazing sun. Every few minutes, clusters of fire shot out, orbiting the cauldron. Each flame encased a different medicinal essence, refined to extreme purity. Though lacking heavenly flame spirits, the other three were no less formidable. As true grandmasters, refining ingredients posed no difficulty for them. The stadium fell silent, countless eyes burning with fervor as they watched. A full day passed. Xiao Yan was the first to open his eyes. He surveyed the dense clusters of flame before exhaling slowly and waving his hand. The fire clusters surged back into the cauldron, and a terrifying fluctuation erupted. The cauldron shook violently, emitting a deep humming sound. Almost simultaneously, Hun Huzi opened his eyes. He hurled his refined medicinal liquids into the cauldron and bellowed, "Strength of heaven and earth, heed my command." A wild gale swept across the sky. Endless natural energy surged from all directions, forming a violent storm before being devoured by the cauldron. The sight caused many to gulp nervously. Absorbing natural energy during pill refinement was madness. Excess energy could easily disrupt the balance and cause failure. But this was common sense for ordinary people. The Yao clan elders were shocked. Even Yao Dan's expression grew grave. Gathering natural energy. He's refining a Tier 9 mysterious pill. Elder Wanhuo snorted coldly and changed his hand seal. Natural energy gather. Excitement erupted among the Yao clan. Elder Wanhuo is also refining a Tier 9 mysterious pill. How, since you two are going this far, this old man can hardly fall behind. Shen Nong laughed, sweeping his sleeve as torrents of energy poured into his cauldron. Xiao Yan smiled faintly. In that case, I can only join in. His hand seals shifted. An even more terrifying suction burst from his cauldron, ruthlessly tearing natural energy from the surroundings. Thunder roared, energy storms raged. The entire stadium trembled. 4 legendary alchemists refining Tier 9 mysterious pills simultaneously. Such a scene was truly rare beyond belief.